Mark Campbell, first of all, tell us, how did you learn of this man's death?
Well, it was this afternoon. It had been posted onto social media by one of the American volunteers, Jordan Matson, who then 1 hour later had deleted it. So I spent the rest of the afternoon trying to get people to stop tweeting about it, because obviously I thought perhaps that his family hadn't been informed. I then later on, another journalist had tweeted that he had spoken to a YPG commander on the battlefield, who had confirmed a UK volunteer had indeed fallen in the fight against ISIS. And then later on, I spoke to an official, PYD official here in London, who had been sent an email to inform the family of Konstantinos of his death.
And how did
so
the family
I
react?
had. Your researcher asked me that question, and it's a very difficult question to answer. I mean, I just put the question back to you. How would you react to the news of the death of your son? It's obviously one of the most horrendous thing that you can ever wish to. So it wasn't very pleasant.
Were they aware that he was in Syria?
To be quite honest with you, it was a harrowing phone call, and there were three questions really that his mother wanted to know immediately, and then I wanted just to leave her to digest the news, and I'm going to phone her again tomorrow, and I've given her my telephone number. She wanted to know if there was a body, and there is. And she wanted to know when he died, and he died yesterday, and wanted to know if he had died in combat, and he had. So I was able to give her those three answers, and also to give her an assurance from the YPG, the Kurdish forces in Syria, that the family's wishes are paramount. I mean, they would love to be able to honour and to bury him as one of their own, but equally they will honour the family's wishes and they will bring his body home.
Mark, apologies for interrupting you. We understand, though, that Konstantinos Eric-Schofield was a former Royal Marine. Do you have any knowledge at all as to when he left the forces?
I don't on that, I'm afraid. No, I've only heard about that on reports as well.
Okay, well, nevertheless, we also understand that he would be the first Briton to die fighting alongside Kurdish forces against Islamic State in Syria. Is that your understanding as well?
No. I think he must be one of the first UK volunteers to die fighting ISIS alongside Kurdish forces in Syria. I think he is the first, yeah.
Do you know how many Britons there may be fighting alongside the Kurdish forces?
It's not a figure I know exactly. I can hazard a guess. I mean, I've heard figures of up to a dozen, but I couldn't say with any great knowledge, I have to say.
And do you know how long Konstantinos Eric-Schofield had been in Syria?
Well, I looked at his Facebook this afternoon, and there was a picture of him looking like it wasn't in Syria in November of 2014. So I don't think. I mean, I would imagine around 3 or 4 months is my guess. But there'll be a fuller statement from the Kurdish forces of the YPG, a fuller statement forthcoming tomorrow.